Hi, and welcome to the Spirit, the Beyond Files.
Ready to question reality? You're in the right place.
Let's dive in.
And that it might actually be bipolar. Could be that. The doc then predicts how much longer they'll live. Sick, I know, but I also know you want to hear what she has to say. The doc says if these people don't get help or straighten up fast, I haven't pre-read any of this. Brittany won't make it to the age 30, Lindsay won't see 25, and Michael Jackson has no more than 5 years left. At the other end, Angelina's going to have a long, healthy life, and so will George Bush and Nicole Richie.
If you're not already bipolar,
I hear yelling in the booth. Are they yelling at me for the way I read that?
You did great.
Okay.
But if you're not,
excuse me.
I could hear Lisa yelling.
Give her a break. She didn't read it earlier. She doesn't know the story. It's okay. Just stop it. She's okay.
I could hear you.
Yeah. Some expert who does.
Ma'am, your inner demon is showing.
But is that really, or is that just like a weird glitch?
You guys decide.
Be deported until jurisdiction is more clearly determined. Walk us through your initial reaction to that court ruling. Do you feel like you and your team are in a good position to address this legally moving forward, or what do you want to see happen next?
Yes, I mean, look, this was a really important next step. Early this morning, the legal team filed an amended petition with the court, and we're ultimately asking the court to send Rumesia back to Massachusetts immediately and to release her from custody. And just about an hour or so ago, we received a court ruling.
I think that was more than just a goiter.
That was more than just a glitch.
She did look quite amphibious to me.
I'm going to show you two pictures that I took last night between Monahans, Texas and Carlsbad, New Mexico. I work in the oil field, so we have to travel down a lot of lace roads that are long, dirt, in the middle of nowhere, no light, no nothing. I'm still kind of shaken up over it. These pictures are not altered. I took 4 pictures. I took the best one out of all 4 of them, and then on one of them I zoomed in. And there's way more to the story, but I will let you see for yourself.
Do you think he just felt compelled to take that picture?
Yeah, that's kind of random.
Maybe the spirit was like, take my picture.
Right. I didn't even think of that. And did it look like a girl in a flowing white dress?
It sure did. Lady in white.
Okay.
Classic.
While walking home at 3 a.m., someone caught this ghoulish figure on a swing set in a park. How is it swinging all the way around like that? What do you think it is?
Hell no.
As a kid, I attempted that several times. Did anyone else attempt that? Like, you tried to swing as high as you could to flip over? What were we thinking anyway? Like, the momentum wouldn't drop us on our head. But I never achieved what that ghoul is achieving.
I think if you actually did make it, it probably took you on another timeline.
It, like, registered way after when you said that.
Everywhere you look, they're gone. The church bells, the Tartarian bells, the towers that once stood in every city, every village. They told us they needed the metal for war. They told us it was for the military. But we know the truth. They didn't just take the bells. They took the frequencies. These weren't just instruments of sound, they were harmonic engines, broadcasting resonance across entire regions, aligning the human body, the Earth's energy, the very rhythm of reality itself. Every ring sent waves through the air, tuning entire cities into balance, synchronizing thought, stabilizing the environment. And then, one by one, they tore them down. Ask yourself, why? Why remove something so central to human civilization for thousands of years? Why erase a sound that connected us to something deeper, something beyond just metal and chimes? Because these weren't just bells. They were tools of power. The Tartarian bell towers were constructed with mathematical precision, designed to emit frequencies that could heal, uplift, and awaken. Some believe they could even influence consciousness itself, but they took them away, They silenced them. And what did they replace them with? Noise, chaos, a world out of tune. We don't just want them back. We need them back. Because the moment we lost those bells, we lost something else. Something we can still hear, if we listen closely enough. Experience the power of a 500-year-old recording from an actual Tartarian Zironeth bell tower. A sound that was never meant to be heard again. Play it at least twice a week to restore balance in your life and environment through the forgotten science of sound. Download it.
My first question is, how do you have a 500-year-old recording? Did they invent recorders 500 years ago? Do you remember being a kid and hearing bells more?
Yeah.
I think there's a few churches that actually have bells that ring.
We should listen to, maybe there's bell meditations or something. I know Spirit tells us bells. Bells are important.
Mm-hmm.
Put bells on your door knobs and stuff. It's a vibrational healing.
And where did all the grandfather clocks go?
We had an experience not too long ago that everybody's grandfather clocks who have them, they all went off in like a certain area.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right
after the earthquake, right? In California?
Yeah. Did that happen to any of you guys? Did you experience, or do you have a grandfather clock? I have one.
Does it still work?
I think so. We just never wind it up.
Oh, okay.
So I'm out here at the farm scouting for turkeys. And it's like between 6:55 and 7 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, I'm just going to take a good video. The sky is really pretty. The farm looks really pretty. And as I'm taking this video, the sky done something weird. Like it glitched. And I wasn't looking through the phone. Like I was scanning the field, but I was like looking at the field. And I seen the sky do it. And I was like, what the world? And I stopped the video and I went back and my phone caught it. I don't know what it is. It's weird for sure. I'll show you guys a video. Check it out. Tell me what you think. It's kind of weird.
Something wasn't working and the tech support was like, unplug it and plug it back in.
911, what are you reporting?
We got someone or something crawling around out here.
Did you see what it was? Was it a person or an animal or?
I can't tell. All I know is that my central light came on and I just happened to glimpse and see this thing running across the yard. A good-sized man or something. It looks like a man. I don't know what it was, just that it ran across the yard.
Okay. You've had problems in the neighborhood before?
Yeah, my dog was killed here just recently. I don't know what it was. Whatever it is, it's running. I couldn't catch it if I was going to chase it. But whatever it was standing up. I'm out here looking through the window now and I don't see anything. I don't want to go outside. Jesus Christ, you better...
Sir?
Dio!
Hello?
Get somebody out here.
What's going on now, sir?
That son of a bitch is about 6'9", I don't know.
Do you see him now, sir?
Yes, I'm looking right at him.
Uh-oh. Okay, hang on.
He's right...
Is he in your yard, sir?
Yeah, God, he's big.
Okay, what's he doing in your yard?
He's looking at me.
Oh, and the guy is on foot.
I don't know what... It's a big... real big person. That's all I can say.
Okay, but it is a person.
Yeah, I'd say it was a person, somebody really big. But he's all in black.
Is he a black male or a white male? Did you actually see whether, or was he just wearing black?
He's all black and he's big. He is big.
He's 6'9", so he's either a pro basketball player or a werewolf. I don't think a Bigfoot would kill the dog, but what do I know? I know nothing of big feet. Bigfoots is Bigfoot. Is it plural or is it like deer?
Big Bigfoot's.
Big.
So this woman wants to unalive her somewhat famous husband so that she can be with someone much worse. Now the woman's name is Victoria, and she's around 30 years old, and she's living in Nevada, and one day she meets someone kind of famous. This guy, Aaron. And Aaron's around 45, and he's one of the hosts of this TV show, Ghost Adventures, where they go around to different haunted places looking for paranormal activity. And so Victoria meets Aaron, and she thinks he's kind of fine. And soon enough, they start dating, and they fall in love, and eventually they get married. And they have their wedding at the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland because, you know, ghosts. But anyway, things are going great for them. They're in love, Aaron is on a successful TV show, and it doesn't seem like anything could screw this up. Until a few years go by, and for some reason, though they haven't been married that long, Victoria starts feeling lonely. Maybe it's because Aaron's off filming his show all the time, or maybe it's because she's jealous of the attention he gets and she doesn't. I mean, I'm speculating here. We don't really know why she's lonely. But Victoria starts becoming unhappy. The thing is, it seems like Aaron doesn't really know that she's feeling this way. I mean, maybe she's just not communicating this with him. But one day in 2024, everything changes because she's watching this true crime docuseries. A docuseries about this guy, Grant. Grant is 35 and he's actually in prison right now. Why is Grant in prison? Well, if you remember, about a month back, we actually covered Grant's story. And if you don't remember him, let me remind you of what he did. One day in 2019, he comes across a cam girl site and he starts watching this cam girl. Her name's Sylvie. And Grant thinks Sylvie is fine, and he starts donating money to her. And over time, he becomes obsessed with her, and he starts stealing money from his family members to donate to her. In fact, little by little, he steals over $200,000 from his family, and he just donates it all to Sylvie. And his family becomes desperate to get him to stop talking to her, so they end up taking his phone away. And in retaliation for taking his phone away, he gets a pew-pew and he unalives his mom, his dad, and his brother. So for that, he gets convicted and he gets life in prison, which he is currently serving. Here's the crazy thing though. Prison hasn't actually stopped Grant from being obsessed with women. I mean, he's kind of well known now. Like, his story is famous. He's had a whole ass docuseries made on him. And because of that, I guess women around the country have been writing to him while he's in prison. Like, oh my God, you're so fine. As if he didn't just get convicted of murdering his whole family because he couldn't have this cam girl. No, these women want him. Like, sometimes he'll have phone contact with them and he'll respond all creepy like,
"Hi, my precious little kitty. I want so many more pictures and videos, and this is just amazing that I get to see you like this. Those beautiful little that I just want to fucking bite on."
Buh. So yeah, I guess in prison, he got game? Anyway, so back to Victoria. So in 2024, she watches this whole documentary about how Grant went crazy over a cam girl and unalived his whole family. And for reasons I'll never understand, she's like, oh, he seems like a nice guy. I really want to get to know him. And that is when apparently Victoria writes to Grant. And I assume he writes back. And soon they hit it off and they're communicating back and forth. And at some point, while in prison, Grant low-key gets a contraband phone, which is a cell phone that he would keep hidden because prisoners are not supposed to have cell phones. So he gets this phone, and he and Victoria start texting one another. And I guess over time, they really start liking each other, and they fall in love. Now keep in mind, she's still married to Aaron. So now she's having like a full-blown emotional affair. And she starts texting Grant about how she wants out of her marriage and how she'd rather have a life with him, while poor Aaron, who from the reporting I've read is universally described as a nice guy and a big teddy bear. This guy has no idea any of this is going on. He apparently believes nothing is wrong with his marriage to Victoria and that everything is going great, because while Victoria is around Aaron, she's pretending that it is. Now, this is where things get really messed up. So Victoria and Grant are texting back and forth all the time, and they allegedly come up with a plan to get rid of Aaron for good. They decide to hire a hitman to take Aaron out. And so Grant is apparently all excited and he gets right to work on this plan. And he uses his contraband phone to contact someone he knows on the outside. I guess he just like texts this guy and he's like, hey, wanna murder someone? And this person is like, all right. And through text, Victoria agrees to pay this hitman $11,515, which is a very specific amount. But anyway, boom, they have officially set this plan in motion. Meanwhile, in front of Aaron, Victoria is still pretending everything is fine and that she's happy in this marriage. Like on Instagram, she posts pictures of them together on a plane, while he's still oblivious. Like on their wedding anniversary, he posts a picture of their wedding saying, 2 years ago today, I got to marry my best friend. I'm so lucky to have you in my life. While at the same time, she's texting Grant, talking about the hit that they're about to pull off and saying things like, I'm so anxious, Lolo. I just can't believe it's happening. And then she asks, am I a bad person? While Grant's like, of course not, baby. Why would you think that? And she's like, because I chose to end his existence, not divorce. And by the way, I didn't make these texts up. These are word for word what they texted each other. Anyway, so the date of the hit approaches, and Victoria and Grant and this hitman all make their preparations. And they allegedly tell the hitman they want Aaron to be unalived while he's out of state, while he's on location filming Ghost Adventures in California. Then Victoria texts Grant Aaron's schedule and his shooting locations, the make of his car, a picture of him. She's also able to give away his exact location with the Find My app. And so Grant sends all this information to the hitman. So now the hitman has everything he needs to get the job done. Then Grant allegedly texts that Aaron's asleep right now in the hotel room, signaling the hitman that he should move forward. Then Grant waits, and he waits, and he waits. And he's not sure if Hitman did the job or not. So he texts him, can I get an update? Was it done? And that is when everything falls apart. Because suddenly, boom, correctional officers at the prison bust Grant for having a phone that he's not supposed to have, and they take it away from him. And as of now, we don't know what happened to Hitman. Like, we just don't have that information yet. But Aaron is still alive, thank goodness. So the hit didn't work. But now Victoria can't communicate with Grant because he doesn't have his phone. So she doesn't know what the hell happened or what's going on. So she just goes on about her life and keeps pretending like her marriage is fine. For months, she's posting on her Instagram, like her and Aaron on Valentine's Day, mini golf with my Valentine. She's posting about the Lego set she built for him. She posts this picture with their cat, cuddle puddle with my boys. See, that's Aaron's leg, that's her leg, and that's his hand on her leg. So to the outside world, everything seems to be going fine for them. So this goes on for several months, and this whole time, prison admin has Grant's contraband phone. And eventually, they start going through it. And that is when they see all these texts between him and Victoria talking about hiring a hitman to unalive her husband. And so, bam, police go and they arrest her. And I don't have a mugshot, but here's a picture of her in real life. Also, just reminding you that she hasn't been convicted of any of this, so all of this is technically alleged. Meanwhile, we're all glad that Aaron is okay, and I've read that since then, he has filed for divorce. So, good for him.
Didn't we cover a little bit of that on our news last week?
A little bit. Kind of just wondering if she was possessed by something. But Aaron is sensitive. He picks up on spirits and stuff, and he gets affected. It's just, was he blinded by love?
I think it was about the money.
But do you think he had feelings about something wasn't right, or he was just so happy with her and she was so fake?
I mean, she was a good actress.
I follow him on Instagram and they always looked happy, so I was totally shocked. He did recently reach out and just thank us all for our support because we all love Aaron. Aaron's my favorite.
Go in the basement, Aaron.
Yeah, he's always doing the dirty work.
Things that keep happening in my house since my mom passed away. Like why? I looked underneath the drawer, I looked behind it, there's nothing making it pop out. It seems like it's when I bring up my mom that something happens. Mom? Your cat's fucking weird.
It's Mama.
It is.
I'd be like, Mom, what's in the drawer?
Just some socks.
This lady's daughter just tested positive for lead in her bloodstream. So this mother went home and tested everything. She said, 90 swabs. I watched it this morning and I posted it to my story. And then I went to go look for it now and it's gone. So she's posted an update saying they took the original post down. But here's the thing. She took 90 swabs, went through all her house, tested. Only one thing came back positive. A cereal. Commonly eaten by children. I'm just going to say that because they gave her violation points and they took her post down when she said what cereal it was. So I'm going to tag the post and go take a look at it for yourself.
I found the post, and I will say this. They're round and donut shaped, and kids eat them out of a cup without milk. Also, there is a lawsuit pending right now for this issue, a class action. So take that for what you will.
This is for entertainment purposes only. These mainstream cereals have a lot of bad stuff in them. And I am not sponsored by this brand, but I do really like the Lovebird cereal.
Never heard of it.
They have a whole bunch of different flavors, but they have honey and
it's all natural.
All natural, chocolate.
No lead?
No lead, no gluten.
Oh, yeah, and don't eat the Girl Scout cookies either because those have lead too.
Oh, but I know a good healthy Girl Scout cooks Samoa recipe. Can you say Samoa?
I don't know.
I know a good coconut chocolate Girl Scout recipe that only includes 3 ingredients. If you are curious.
We'll pin it in the comments below for you guys.
Yeah.
There are thousands, if not tens of thousands of people that died in the earthquake today. We're going to go through a whole bunch of different views, and this thing is absolutely terrific. And then we're going to hop back to the States and see what's happening here. I've seen videos in these buildings I'm about to show you, and my goodness, people just laid up in the rubble everywhere. I can't even say much about it, otherwise the video won't be allowed, but it's horrifying. And so this crane you're seeing right here, I'm gonna have it blocked. There's actually people in the crane, and when it went down, they fell out of the crane. Like, it's bad. This is a view probably half a mile from that main building that you keep seeing that exploded. This has to be one of the worst earthquakes that have ever happened in Bangkok. What you saw in the beginning was actually the aftermath of this earthquake. Like, all of these buildings are just straight up destroyed, going down miles and miles and miles. So you may have seen yesterday that Texas was underwater, but have you seen what's happening in Mexico? You know, I've never in my life seen this much natural destruction going on everywhere. Once in a lifetime storms popping up every day in different states and countries. And it's also flooding in like 10 other countries right now. And while the flooding is going on, the Carolinas now has 10,000 acres burning in 0% containment. Oddly enough, it's right around Lake Lure and those areas that got impacted by Helene. Not related whatsoever, but very odd. I'm telling you, the world that we live in today is very different from the one that we grew up in.
I don't watch the news, but are these things getting reported on the news?
I don't think so. I don't watch the news either. Can you let us know?
Because I just think it's interesting where people, their attention is focused from the news. But I don't ever hear people talk about all these natural disasters. These are things we solely learn through TikTok and people's videos.
Yeah, and it's mostly politics, I think, on the news. Don't be disheartened. Let's all stay out of fear. But this is messed up, and things that make you go,
Wouldn't it be crazy if there were abnormal readings in the ionosphere before the massive 7.7 magnitude earthquake that hit Myanmar yesterday? This was the reading on the global ionospheric map. As you can see, the massive red spots are directly over southern Asia. And here we have kind of an interactive map showing, you see that massive gray blob? Well, you're gonna watch that kind of go directly over Myanmar, and then it disappears. And this was taken right before the earthquake occurred. So, yeah. Here's a statement from the Chinese government talking about how they hope to have their 5.5 million square kilometers of land under their weather modification program. There was also a major solar flare that occurred yesterday. However, that was not logged until after the earthquake. So, and here's some government documents that talk about tectonic plate manipulation and weather manipulation. This part talks about laser weapons and extraterrestrial weapons. So,
I know there's still a lot of people that when you talk about things like that, they think you're a crazy conspiracy theorist. But it's really nice when we read your comments and we're all on that same wavelength now. And it's nice to know that other people are waking up and we're kind of connected to this and we're all kind of having those same thoughts and seeing the same things now.
Yeah.
So thanks for reassuring us that we're not just, cuckoo cuckoo.
We just want to say thank you to all our new subscribers and all you awesome people out there that are leaving us comments to think about, comments to research, just saying hello and how much you enjoy our videos. We are so grateful for you. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you like what you see and you want to help us out and push us up into the algorithm, if you could just hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell, that would help us a lot. And for that, we greatly thank you.
Don't you guys think that it's a little bit weird that over 15,000 acres of temperate rainforest is currently on fire in North and South Carolina?
Did you notice that there's a handful of them surrounding the town of Bat Cave, and just 3 weeks ago there was another huge fire? You guys notice all the conspiracies surrounding Bat Cave and Lake Lure and Chimney Rock when they were talking about how they were going to gate it off and not let the people back in or out? Obviously, I don't know all the answers. I'm just looking up at the sky and this stuff's looking crazy right now. There's another, I think, 3,000 acre fire started a couple days ago. It's continuing to grow and they're closing down and evacuating the towns. Obviously it's dry, obviously it's windy. I'm just saying it's a little bit suspicious, the location of these wildfires in relation to the towns that also got flooded by Hurricane Helene and still haven't recovered. And I also think it's kind of weird that the towns that once had 40 foot of water in them not too long ago are now completely bone dry and all lit up. And I'm also not saying that every single thing has to be a conspiracy. I'm just saying it smells a little bit fishy around these parts.
How is that possible? We get tons of snow here and rain, and they still put burn bans on us when the ground's still wet and I have puddles in my backyard. Suddenly it goes from being flooded to bone dry in the winter, coming into spring.
And just to make note, people are still going through it in the Carolinas and it's not getting talked about. People are still homeless. People still have nothing.
Yeah, they've lost everything.
Yeah, sad.
Can someone in Australia please explain to me what this is? There's a creature sitting in this tree right behind me, and I'm going to show you in just a minute. It was submitted by one of my followers from Australia, so I need your guys' help. If you're from Australia, fill me in on what's going on here. If you haven't watched the last few videos I've shared with you guys from Australia of demonic looking creatures, witch, La Llorona looking creatures, and now this thing, I need some answers. Again, this was submitted by one of my followers. It's supposed to be from an Aboriginal community. I'm not sure, but is this some sort of witch that is known to be in Australia? I'm really invested now. Like, I had never really researched Australian culture or hauntings, but this is some of the creepiest stuff that I've ever seen. If you're from Australia, or anywhere for that matter, but if you're from Australia or you know anything about Aboriginal culture, folklore, what is this thing? And tell me some of the other hauntings or entities that are out there. Let me know this in the comments, and if you have any kind of paranormal evidence you would like to share, any story, picture, or video, my email is listed in my bio. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. God bless.
We know we have some Aussie viewers out there. Can you guys explain what that is? We'd love to know.
It's really spooky.
It is.
So when you're in New Orleans and you see a tour group and another tour group, you know they're looking at some of importance. So right here, Shy, is the Ursuline Convent. When you guys see some little town, check that out on the Google, because they said back in the day, in the olden times, they would get the vampires and they would put them in there, and they said they keep the vampires in there, and they said they still have some in there, and that's why they say all of that windows at the top, all of them, they go, all of that, that's where they keep the vampires in the attic up there, and they keep the shutters closed, and they got silver nails and all of the things to keep the vampires in there. Is that true? I don't know. You got to figure that out for yourself, Shy. But that's what the front looked like.
Do you believe in vampires, Rach?
Yeah.
Do you think they're boarded up in there?
I mean, there's always a little bit of truth to these tales, wouldn't you say?
I would. Have you ever been to NOLA?
No.
Oh. Well, if you ever encounter someone with an accent like that, good luck getting directions.
I do love that accent.
It's crazy.
I know us ourselves have a Midwest accent.
Oh, that's what we've been told.
A lot of us are discussing that KFC commercial that came out with the big egg. I made a video, a lot of people made a video. But what many people are not discussing is the commercial that came out 9 months ago by the very same people that was released overseas. And before I show you that commercial, because I'm going to show it to you, I want to break it down very quickly, because there's a lot of symbolism and things inside that if you don't pay attention, you'll miss it, because it goes by very fast. It begins with a woman doing laundry. And in the background, she's listening to the radio. And in the radio, they're discussing about a minister of artificial intelligence denying the very notion that they're not real, that they're real. And everything turns really weird really fast. She ends up turning around, dancing, and becoming somewhat of a zombie. There's frequencies or something within the background of the commercial that creates this zombified state. We're taken to another scene of a gas station, but not a gas station using petroleum, a station of true supercharged station where you can see an electric vehicle having issues going forward or moving. I zoomed up on the numbers. If you pause it when I show you the commercial, you can see the different numbers that it cycles through. This was the one that was a little bit more interesting for me, but you tell me. We're then taken into a bar where you see a fox looking at this person, right? The bartender. And in the background, there's a TV that states, "Man marries AI partner." And what can we even believe anymore is what this person is stating. You then start seeing a group of people dancing like Michael Jackson's Thriller, moving on. And this right here, I showed you this because this was not worded at all within the video. There's nobody that spoke at all, but the caption "you" came up. Then immediately after, we see this scene where a man is walking or gliding across the top of a water. He's not inside, he's gliding across like he's surfing, but there's no surfboard or anything to that nature. We then are taken to the group of people because everybody comes together. They're all separate doing their things, but then something happens and they all become the Walking Dead. Zombies, all confused or conflicted by a vibration or something while the information is given in the background. Essentially, I would say bringing attention to an NPC state where they tell you what's going on, where we see what's going on, but everybody is so enthralled in something other than that they are dismissing it completely with a chicken there. What can they be enthralled with? Well, I would suggest you watch the movie They Cloned Tyrone, and you can see that they alleged within the video, because this video is just for entertainment, it alleges nothing and is just speaking on popular belief. It's edited in such a way to be original, and it was created within my studio using high definition software. And alluding to this is always the centerpiece of the whole thing. At the very end, the entire group surrounds this chicken on a pedestal or on its thing, and they're saying, again, what we saw in the other commercial, believe in chicken. Now, I'm going to show you the commercial right now, but keep this whole thing in mind. I muted the video because it's very disturbing, and again, I wanted this video to be altered in such a way as to not represent the original video, because this video that you're watching is completely original and was made using high def. I hate having to repeat that, and alleges nothing, just for entertainment. And this is where the people start hearing something, because within the background of the actual video, there's this frequency, there's something going on that makes them all come together. He's listening to his headset, they all become who they are. They all do this little wonky dance. We see a newspaper on the floor with the WTF, then again that chicken that I mentioned right there. And again, we know what type of dance this is. We've seen this before. As you saw the caption pop up with "you," That was not within the video. No one stated you at all. There goes that man gliding across the water or sliding across the water, whatever have you. They're doing this. It's very disturbing. I mean, and that right there is an electric vehicle within the front. And in the back is a regular gas or petroleum vehicle. Now we see them going into this big square, this big circle where they're surrounding this chicken. Again, I'm sorry that we don't have the audio, but I did that for obvious reasons. Everyone leaves what they're doing. The trainer leaves, goes to the chicken. Everyone's obsessed with this chicken, right? They stop doing what they're supposed to, their work, their workouts, their everything, and they go in and they worship this chicken. Then it says, believe in chicken. Now, Easter, the worship of eggs, the fertility god, this is not new. This is very old. And this is the god Ishtar. We rebuke your name in the name of Christ, who has all these eggs and rabbits and all this stuff. Now, if you speak to the Catholic Church or other denominations, they will state that Easter did not originate from them, but I'm very questionable when I'm given the information by people who practice paganism themselves. Allegedly, I don't know. I'll read this with you so we can get through it quickly. Ishtar, pronounced Easter, is a day of commemorating the resurrection of the god Tammuz, who was believed to be the only begotten son of the moon goddess Semiramis, aka Ishtar, and the sun god Nimrod, aka we know this name. After her son Nimrod, who was also her husband, died, Ishtar became pregnant and claimed it was the rays of the sun god, you know him, that caused her to conceive her son Tammuz. Tammuz loved rabbits but was killed by a boar while hunting. Ishtar also claimed that she was immaculately conceived. Does that sound familiar? Although, in any event, she taught that the moon was the goddess that went through a 28-day cycle and ovulated when full. She claimed that she fell from the moon in a giant moon egg into the Euphrates River. Ishtar Sunday was celebrated every year on the Sunday after the first full moon, after the spring equinox, which with sacred hot cross buns, cakes, ham, rabbits, eggs, painted on the blood of sacrificed infants. Now, I know a lot of people will make correlations to our Messiah, but that is not at all our Messiah. We know historically that Jesus existed. He was real. We have more documentation for him than anyone else in all of existence that he was a real person. I also find it odd that in 1946, there was supposedly a ritual to bring about Nimrod, the spirit of Nimrod, to bring that entire thing back. And guess who was born in 1946? Again, this video is just for entertainment. It alleges nothing at all. I'm not saying that they're paving the way for electric vehicles, artificial intelligence to take over the world, the old gods to re-emerge. The Euphrates rivers is already dried up or drying up, creating the shape of the Omega, and there are things happening all over the world. And so many people are caught up in their own world that they resemble the NPCs within this video without realizing we are living in biblical times. Please be careful out there. God bless you. And by all means, pick up the Bible and start reading it. Time is near.
When I was a kid, I watched George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, and I would have nightmares all the time about zombies. And I think zombies are real, and I think these people might be zombies.
What if something that's getting ingested from a certain place has something in it that could be doing something to the brain?
Mind control.
Entertainment purposes only. I can't imagine just being blazed and looking up in the sky and just...
Yeah, it probably looked beautiful if you were blazed. Like, wow, it's a light show.
Yeah, I guess depending what strand you get.
True.
The aliens are coming. The fucking aliens are coming. They're going to invade us.
Don't come after us about the language. I've seen some of your comments. We're just trying to express ourselves the best we can, and angry grandma is worried about the aliens.
And they're not just coming. They're here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out with us as we show you the new strange and unusual content. If you have anything you'd love to share, we could debut it. You can send it to us at tothespiritpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. If you also want more than just our videos, tune in to our podcast where we talk about everything in the paranormal spectrum. Stay spirited, and until next time.